なものがありましたら手を触れずにスタッフにお知らせくださいますようご協力お願いします。
Sumo has a history that spans over 1,500 years.
There's something about sumo that's quite mesmerising, all the posturing that goes on. Then it all explodes in a couple of seconds and then it's all over. It's amazing. Although sometimes you get a wrestle that goes on for like quite a while and the crowd just goes nuts.
It's much more than a sport. It's a statement of Japanese identity. Its champions may be celebrated like rock stars, but sumo is just one of the many things that makes Japan, Japan. It's a nation that seamlessly blends the cultures of Buddhism and Shintoism. With a simple yet elegant aesthetic built into the everyday.
That's so clever. Oh, I know, I'm impressed.
In the heart of Tokyo, you'll find the remains of a fortress, once built by the shogunate, when Japan was closed to the outside world for 260 years. When the shogunate collapsed in 1867, this land became part of the Japanese Imperial Palace. It's still home to the present-day royal family. Parts of the old fortress have been turned into these exquisite and tranquil gardens. Green space, open to the public. In the heart of a megacity.
And this is just a Taiwanese festival, very random. They have different festivals, different times of the year.
Of course, if you do make it to Tokyo, you just absolutely must visit one of their newest, most famous attractions. That's the Tokyo Skytree, like we're 350 metres above the ground and you can go another 100 metres higher if you so desire. We're here late in the afternoon. You can see it's pretty dark out there. Not dark, but been a cloudy day, so weather's not great, but you do feel the height, certainly, when you look down.
Of course, on a clear day, you don't need to leave Tokyo to see Mount Fuji. But it's always a thrill when you do. We're riding on the Hakone Ropeway, or cable car. That's Mount Fuji in the distance, just 40 kilometres away. The volcanic forces that built Fuji are still very active. The sulphur mines below are proof of that. Leftovers from an eruption that happened here 3,000 years ago. It's an amazing sight. And at the gift shop, you can even buy black eggs, cooked in the steamy sulphur-rich waters.
The next stop is Kawakidani, H55. The doors on the left side will open.
まもなく上空の森、上空の森ですので、出口右側です。エンドのホーム内で隙間が広が空いております。ただ、
Here's a tip when you're travelling on trains in Japan, is luggage. Take as little as you possibly can because, as you can see, there isn't a lot of space.
We are crossing Japan's Seto Inland Sea to get to the island of Naoshima. This island was once the site of an industrial refinery, but in the 1980s it began to be rehabilitated into an art island.
One of the nice things about this island of Naoshima, they call it the art island, but wherever you go, there's little surprises like sculptures that you'll just find in unexpected places, and some of them, you know, they move.
The island now has a number of galleries and contemporary art museums.
Of course, Naoshima is an island, so we're completely surrounded by water. It's just gorgeous being on this island.
Of course, on my first visit to Japan, I wanted to visit the city of Hiroshima.
This is the Nozomi Super Express, bound for Hakata. We will be stopping at Hiroshima, Tokuyama, and Kokura stations.
The cenotaph holds the names of the people killed by the bomb, some 140,000.
What's striking about the Hiroshima Memorial, there's lots of stuff about the victims and how much people suffered immediately after the bomb. But there's also, what's disturbing is that victims received such little help from their own government. In fact, they were victimized because nobody understood, radiation sickness. How could you have a disease when you didn't have any physical injuries, when you weren't anywhere near where the bomb went off? But even, you got caught in the black rain. Well, people didn't understand that the black rain was radioactive. And, the consequences of this went on and on. And then, of course, you had a flattened city. That would have been bad enough, a huge natural disaster, trying to recover after a war. Terrible. And the other thing that's of course not mentioned here at all is Japan's own efforts to build the atom bomb. The use of a bomb is such a horrific thing. It should never happen again. This is like the logic of war. It's an evil thing.
Hiroshima has of course regrown. It's now a modern city with a population of 2 million, nearly 8 times larger than it was on that terrible day in 1945. 360 kilometres east of Hiroshima is Kyoto, considered to be the cultural capital of Japan. It's also one of the few Japanese cities to escape serious damage during World War II. Even now, despite 80 years of modernisation, Kyoto is still one of the best preserved cities in Japan, especially in the Sannenzaka district on the eastern side, which is designated as a preservation district for groups of historic buildings.
This is a traditional dessert shop.
One of them is the Shorein Temple, a step back into simpler, more peaceful times. The pond garden was designed 500 years ago. It leads to a meandering path up towards a small shrine.
Shinto shrine inside a Buddhist temple. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
This is located on the northeast corner of this temple,
Right.
which, according to Chinese theory, northeast is the direction that evil spirits or demons come in. So they're here to protect this northeast corner.
From
Nearby is the Ginkakuji Temple, also known as the Silver Pavilion. Japanese sand gardens are designed to create a peaceful and meditative atmosphere, representing the constant change and impermanence of life. They often use moss and low-growing plants to imply a balance between nature and human creation. It's easy to lose track of time when you wander here. Kyoto still has the old Imperial Palace, from the ancient time when the city was still the capital of Japan. It's like a time capsule from a bygone era.
This metal decoration, it's copper and gilded with gold leaf.
That's real gold leaf.
Yeah.
You're not permitted to film inside the buildings, but I can assure you, if you have the opportunity, it's well worth the visit. The palace gardens outside give some idea of royal life.
Kyoto's only got a population of about 1.5 million people, but can you believe it? They have 55 million visitors every year. Not just from the rest of the world, but also from all over Japan. Extraordinary.
Possibly the most visited part of Kyoto is just outside the city. You'll recognise it from the iconic shape of its Shinto torii gates. Over 10 million people visit this place every year. Fushimi Inari Taisha is famous for its sandborn torii, a seemingly unending path of torii gates which give the impression of a tunnel.
Unbelievable crowds around here. It's not really the place where you can stop and do a piece to camera. Luckily, I've got this little camera which is easy to handheld.
There are said to be more than 800 of these large torii gates on the path up the mountain. But there are also thousands of smaller ones, each representing a simple wish. It's a 233 metre climb up the mountain, although the steps are mostly gentle.
Most of these gates have been donated by companies or by people. If you look at the back of them, you can actually see the name of whoever it was who made the donation. It's kind of like a way of paying it forward. You know, if you've had good luck, you contribute something, and hopefully somebody else is going to benefit from you paying it forward. It is extraordinary how many people are here. But on the other hand, it's great.
The best view is before you arrive at the top of the mountain. But when you finally reach the summit, the shrine is modest and adorned with miniature torii gates, each carrying a simple human wish, such as keeping healthy, recovery from an illness, safe travel, or for success in business or life. You don't have to be Japanese to see the attraction.